All right, let's see what's next. So continue on in 1977. Next game that we got is Dominos. So we're back in the arcade. Thank you. The home isn't looking so good, actually, from what we've seen. Arcade's still where it's at. We've seen some great arcade games. So this is the next one. This is Dominos. Never even heard of this one. Let's take a look at some of the artwork and see if this helps us out. Dominos by Atari. Gotta love that funky artwork. There's an example of the arcade cabinet. I wonder what they did back then to do advertising. If the marketing team got together and said, okay, we've done pinball. We know how pinball works, but we need to sell these video game machines. So just throw some color on there and just give random facts on the arcade flyer, like 19-inch monitor, built-in self-test program, checks microprocessor functions and switches. I think they're just throwing things on there because they're trying to sell to the arcade owner, not to you and me, the people playing the games. They just want them to buy this so they'll put them in their arcade. With the other pinball games, which I think were still up there. People were still way into pinball than video games. So there's another arcade cabinet. Here's the example of our control panel. It looks like it's just 4 buttons to move ourselves around. Yeah, just up, down, left, and right. And I got to look at all the artwork because I haven't gone through and played all these games. I've gone through and collected the games, but this is my first time playing them. Some of them, I have no idea what they are and how they play or what they're like. Yes, that's really, I'm looking over at the chat and some of these games we're playing, they asked if it really started up that way. I don't know. I know that the emulator does. I'd be very surprised how you sell game systems that start up that way. All right, so this looks like one of those old school Snake games. Yeah, there's an example of the screenshot. All right, so let's see if the manual helps us out with anything more. Here's the operation and service manual for Dominos by Atari. If it's Atari, they're killing it in the arcade, so this has got to be good. But they're kind of ripping off what we saw a couple of years before, which is a game that gets longer and longer and you move something around on the screen. But honestly, they can rip it off because so many people ripped off Pong. Everybody did Pong. So let's see if this helps us out. So 1977, looks like this will tell us, if we go down to the table of contents, the next part is the physical description of the game. This is just telling us what the arcade cabinet looked like. If you said, what does Domino's look like? That's what the physical description is. Because keep in mind, most people don't know what the arcade cabinet for a video game was or looked like. This is all brand new, even for 1977. So summary of gameplay. Player's objective is to have earned a higher point score than their opponent. Isn't that every video game? Get a higher score than your opponent? Dominoes appear on the TV screen during play, and the player receives 1 score each time the opponent's domino falls down. All right, so I don't think we need 5 paragraphs. Oh my gosh, more. 7 paragraphs to explain the game, but they're going into detail about exactly what to do. Since we've seen this before, we'll move on to the game itself. Looks like we got different versions. Okay, so we could play the cocktail version, which is the version that they used to put in bars to have drinks. It was face down. But we'll play the original, which was the upright Dominoes. So we are January 31st, 1977, playing Dominoes in the arcade by Atari. Oh, we got some artwork on the side, too. Looks like the cabinet artwork for Dominoes. This is the attract mode. They're showing us 2 people playing. It looks... Okay, so they're taking the idea of the Snake game we saw before, like Brickyard and Blockage. I think that's what it was called. But they're making it like we're stacking dominoes to play. So let's see if we can put a coin in and see what happens. Ready? We put our 25 cents in. Boom! Each player push your start button. So push start, and now I am the black arrow on the left side. So over there, I'm going up, I'm going left, up. I'm just building the dominoes while we have a computer player. So this is awesome too. We last saw a game called Bigfoot Bonkers that is the exact same formula, but they had a computer player. Oh wow, it's going faster already. Great. They had a computer playing, and a lot of these games did not program an artificial intelligence. You had to play with someone else. Like the original Pong, you had to have 2 people, and... Oh, I'm going to block them in. There. Ah, okay, I pushed the wrong button. If you push the wrong down, then you break it. But you can see all the dominoes fall that you built. But I got beaten by a computer. Can't believe it. All right, so we're going down. We're going left. Going down. Going left. So I'm playing an artificial intelligence, which the fact that they could program that in was pretty clever. A lot of times you had to bring a friend or go on a date back in 1977 and convince your girlfriend or boyfriend to play. There we go. Dominoes fall. Got him. So it's showing the score at the top. This one is not a game that's scored based on a high score. It's just per game. They score who's got what, and then whoever has the most wins. But at least they're scoring. We played games. We started so old that we played games that had no score at all. All right, so I dig it. It works, but we've seen it before. So I think we got enough for Dominoes. We got the idea. So let's rate this one. Anybody got any ideas? If it's an average, it's probably below average or average for the time. I'm thinking 2.5 because we've already seen several games like it. So 2.5 for Dominoes. Pretty good. Oh, even lower, yeah. Someone said 2. I get it. 2. I can see it's 2 too. All right, so the rating system is based on what else we've seen. Because if we rate them based on what we know now in video games, all these would be so low. They'd be half a star or maybe even 1 star. But we're only rating them based on what we've seen since the beginning of the channel. All right, so let's move on to Boot Hill. Boot Hill, we got a Western style game. Now this is possibly the same game or another game that we saw called Draw from a year before. But this is 1977. Let's take a look at some of the artwork for Boot Hill. Here's the advertisement flyer. Exciting Western shootout. 1 or 2 player game. Complete player control of the cowboy. Okay, so this is by Midway. This is the same game we saw before. But it's still pretty impressive because the game is using artwork that you can actually tell it's a person. Hey, thanks for coming in. I see some more people in the chat. How's it going, guys? So here's the example of the arcade cabinet for Boot Hill. They're really hitting on the Western theme. Gotta love it. We're in 1977. Everything has to have wood grain. You can see on the side there. Looks pretty good. Here's an example of the control panel. We got 1 joystick that's moving the cowboy position and then 1 moving the gun position. So 2 joysticks for each person. And I'm looking at everything just because I've never played it before. We did play something similar. And let's see if this is the same thing, if it works the same way. All right, here we go. So this is March 1st, 1977, Boot Hill in the arcade by Midway. Oh, look at that. So we got the full experience. This game was programmed only to have black and white. And so what they did back in the day is put overlays to change the color to make it look more interesting. So here's the whole arcade cabinet. We got the marquee at the top. Oh, it looks awesome. All right, let's see what happens if we put some money in. Cha-ching, there's our 25 cents. And to start the game, we push one player. So I want to play a 1-player game. Let's see if we have a computer. The last time we played, we did not. We have a computer. Okay, so this is a step above what we played before. What we had to do in the first time, he already shot me. The computer's too good. The last time we played, we had to have 2 people to control. They didn't have a computer. But here we go. I'm the player on the right. So he's the guy playing on the left, and I have a joystick to control the player and another. Oh God! Wow. He's moving fast, man. But shooters already got it, man. Shooters are already way too fun. All right, so he's across the site. Can I shoot the cactus away? Oh, he shot the cactus away. Dang! The computer's so good. The last time I played this, it was with myself because we didn't have anybody else to go. Come on, come on, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we go. Finally, got 1 point at least. But they made this work where you walk in the distance and you actually get slower. The player sprites are getting smaller. But the best part of this is every game we've seen is either a dot or a blip, and these are actual people that are playing. Come on, there we go. Oh, it ricochets off the wall. That's even better. Okay, so this game's a step above. This one's got it going. So yeah, Boot Hill. That's fantastic. This one's above average. Let's give this one. We gave the last one, a Boot Hill, 4 stars. So let's do 4 for this one because it's above average. All right, so that's for Boot Hill 1977. Moving on to the next game. Looks like we have Triple Hunt. Still in 1977 in the arcades, where I'd rather be in 1977. And this one looks like a shooter. So I don't think we've seen. I'm trying to think of another shooter this is the first shooter we've ever seen in the arcades. The only other shooter we've seen was at home on the Magnavox Odyssey, which kind of doesn't count because they were using graphics that were just a light, and that's it, just a single light. So this one will be interesting. Let's check out the images for Triple Hunt. Triple Hunt. I don't know what they're trying to market here. There's a raccoon, a bear, and a witch. 3 changeable shooting games. Oh, so there's 3 games. Hit the Bear, Witch Hunt, and Raccoon Hunt. Built-in self-test program. I don't know if that's good. There's an example of the arcade cabinet, and there you can see back at the arcade cabinet, they have an actual rifle. I wonder if it was made of metal and wood, since it was 1977. So this is Triple Hunt. The screenshot examples are only black and white because that's all it was programmed to do. I bet they're going to have some kind of overlay or color on top of it. Let's see if the manual helps us out. Oh, it's Atari. Great. Atari is killing. They've been going nuts since 1972, cashing in on the video game craze. Have you heard about this new thing called video games? It's awesome. All right, this is the manual is just the parts catalog and how to put together the arcade cabinet. This channel will not be putting together arcade games, so we won't be doing that. But let's check out Triple Hunt. This is April 1st, 1977, Triple Hunt in the arcade by Atari. J Baby Doll said, games in a video? I know, it blows your mind. All right, so this is Witch Hunt. This was one of the games. I don't even know how we can switch, but I do know this. For arcade cabinets, we haven't talked about this. In the back of the arcade cabinet, they had something called dip switches. They were switches that you could change the difficulty or how hard the game played, and it looks like we can switch between the game by saying, I want to play Raccoon Hunt, and then can we reset? Does it reset and give us? Oh, no, we have to switch out the artwork. So Raccoon Hunt's playing, and then we switch out the video and say, I want to play Raccoon Hunt. Ooh. Oh, and it looks so cute on the trees. Look at that. That's beautiful. And then let's see another one. Let's switch to the bear artwork, and then let's see what if we switch the dip switch to bear. So hit the bear, and then reset the cabinet. There it is. Oh, it looks basically almost the same as the Raccoon Hunt. But gotta love all the artwork. Since we got 3 games to choose from, it's gonna be a very simple shooting range game. So we'll start with hit the bear. Let's put a coin in and see what happens. Ooh. All right, it says we put our money in and we push start for extended play for score of 800. So we hold our rifle up. Where's my rifle? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Bam. Shoot. Shoot. Oh, why is it missing the bear? Oh, you got to hit on the target? You do. There's a small circle that you have to hit. It's not the whole bear. It's just that one circle part to get the points. It's going to take a long time to get to a bonus life. Oh, I might be just scaring him away. All right, let me switch it to another. I want to play the ghost one. Let's see what the let's see what it has over here. Let's see. Switch to witch. Yes, Witch Hunt. Oh yes. All right, so I'm flipping the switch in the back of the arcade cabinet to Witch Hunt, and then I'm resetting it. There we go. Looks good. All right, 1 coin, 1 game. Let's put our 25 cents in. Pushing start, and got to get a score of 1,400 for extended play. Oh my gosh. All right, so shoot! Yes, kill the witches. Can I kill everything? Looks like the calibration is a little bit off. Some of these games were so old you had to calibrate them from the beginning. But it's working for the most part. I'm hitting some ghosts. I hope this wasn't the actual sound the arcade cabinet made back in 1977. Because I want to hear like the gun going off. Loud shots. It sounds like we're playing with a cap gun. All right, so that's triple hunt. I already forgot. Triple Hunt in the arcade. That's pretty good. So this was our first shooter in the arcade. For the first shooter, we're going to give this one an average because they did the basic idea. Now, this was the first shooting electronic video game. Plenty of shooting games that did this much better that you could play. So if we were in the arcades in 1977, we would most likely be playing those games that had, you know, stuffed deer or bears that we'd shoot. They'd be better than this. So that's why we're just going to give this one an average of what we'd see. Oh, K1AES just said give it a 4. 4 would be if it's a really, really good game. I guess I could squeeze a 3.5. So yeah, we'll make it above average, just because it's the very first one we've ever seen of a shooter in the arcade for a video game. At least the first that I know of. All right, let's move on to our next game. This is Road Champion, and I'm scared because if that's the screenshot, that means this may be a game that has no microprocessor, which means it may not run. But let's see if we can check out some of the artwork. So this is our first game from Taito, which means that this is one of the first games we've seen developed in Japan. So this is Road Champion. There's an example of the arcade cabinet. The back of the flyer always gives you the specifications and the width and diameter of the cabinet. You really want to sell arcade systems by telling you how big it is. And that's it. That's all we got for Road Champion. So no help there. Let's see. Yeah, it does not run. So this one you need to have a simulator since there's no microprocessor. So sadly, we got to give it a 0 star. Sorry, Road Champion. Would love to check you out.